This episode is sponsored by
Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, Issue 3 is now on Kickstarter. Eager Raven, a half-unicorn, half-human princess, is forced from her enchanted kingdom of Edenron into one of the outer kingdoms of men. Eager Raven is unsure how she can help her people, but a chance encounter with a noblewoman and her unusual lady-in-waiting reveals a path more treacherous than fighting the Dragon Lords themselves. Please check out Eager Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn on Kickstarter today.
previously on the Craze in 10 or Less.
That's without the hotel. That's without travel. And that's without one key element that you have not even considered. And I want you to ponder on this for the next episode.
Welcome to the Craze in 10 or Less. This is a show where I give it to you in 10 minutes or under. And if I don't, I forgot. So, last week we talked about the behind-the-scenes costs to preparing for a con. This week we're talking about the cost of doing the con. That's the topic of the day. I'm Chef Crazy Man Vera. Stop acting up. Let's get it. All right, so we have that number from last week. It's a big number, over $1,000, just the cost of production, the behind-the-scenes stuff. Right, so this week, let's talk about the airfare cost, table cost, food cost, right? The things we haven't considered. So, the table. So, let's just pick a show. We're going to pick a show that's somewhere in the middle, right? So, we're going to pick MegaCon. So I chose MegaCon. And so MegaCon, let's just say hypothetically we're applying for Artist Alley and you get accepted. That's $350 you have to pull out your pocket. Boom. $350. Add that to the screen. Right? So you got $350 there. Now you got to fly there. Let's say we're looking for a ticket. You want to find the cheapest ticket possible. It's probably going to cost you $200 round trip. If you get the best deal. And again, it all depends on where you're flying from. So I'm going to stick with $200 round trip as the number that we're going with. So that's $350 for the table and $200 for your airfare. Boom. You're already there for $550. Crazy, right? So now you have your airfare and you have your table. Now you need the hotel. So I was looking up some hotels, right? So let's see. So you have hotels near the convention center itself. So this is where you can actually walk there. So you have the Rosen Center Hotel. You have the Hyatt Regency. You have the Embassy Suites. And you have Rosen Plaza, right? So the average, is about $99 a night. Now, MegaCon... It's the 19, 20, 22nd, and 19, 20, 21, 20, 4 days, right? So it's 4 days. You might be there for 5 days, right? Unless you're crazy enough to land the same day that you have to set up the table and then fly out that same night. So let's just hypothetically say, 5 days. So there's 5 days, so that's 4 nights. 4 nights you're going to stay. So the hotel average is $99 a night. So you're talking about $400 on top of the $550. All right, so right there is $950 right there on top of the cost that we've identified last week. Right? So you're like, all right, I could probably do something with this. Right? But we forget, you got to eat. You got to eat. Now, let's say the hotel provides breakfast, whether it's continental breakfast or a warm breakfast, it's enough for you to skip going to a deli, right? I love delis, right? Put some jelly in my belly. I love everything bagel, toasted with cream cheese and jelly. Oh, it's like a symphony playing in my mouth. Anyway, so let's take breakfast out and let's just focus on lunch and dinner. Lunch and dinner, is expensive as hell at the cons, right? So you're probably gonna spend $20 and a day just on lunch. Dinner is the tricky part because everybody wants to hang out afterwards, right? Everybody wants to go and go to the after parties or the bars or whatever. So let's say for your meal, and if you guys and some cats, they want to go, and when an entourage goes, and you know what I mean, and everybody goes to the same places, and they order, and then everybody just takes the bill and divides it by the group. But not everybody eats the same portions, and not everybody drinks of the same amount, but you're paying a little more than you would normally pay if you just paid for yourself. So let's say you're gonna spend about $50 a night if you're that guy. You're saying, Sam, that's a little too much. Yeah, but it happens. It happens. So let's say you only party 2 nights. So let's say average $30 a night. Let's just say $30. Let's try to be as cost conscious as possible. So $20 for lunch, $30 for dinner. You're spending $50 a day. Remember, you're there 4 nights. So that's $200. So you're already $11.50. Right there. So now, forget about the fact that you have to take a cab from the airport to your hotel, to and from. Because you might have a ride, which is why I didn't add that cost. You might have a ride to the airport in your home state. But if you don't, when you get to the state, you have to. So let's say you're there with a couple of buddies and you're splitting up the fare. Let's say it was $30 and you all spent $10. So let's say you just spent $10 for your airfare, for your cab, right? So that's $20. So you have $11.50, which is $11.70. So you have $11.70. You're in. $11.70. Now here's the caveat that I want you to think about. Because on the next episode, we're going to talk about how you make that money back. How are you going to make all this money that you just spent back? Yeah, I'm saving it for the next episode. You can thank Mark from It Came From The Radio for that. Because this required a longer process, and I'm trying to not extend this episode. So here we go. Here's the one factor that you didn't consider. Mark thought he had the answer, but he didn't. Sorry, I had to break it to you. Here's the question. Will you work for somebody else for free? Will you work for an Image Comics or a publisher or anybody for free? But you're working for yourself for free. So all those nights and all those hours that you were slaving and writing and drawing and uploading and contacting the printers and formatting your books and sending things off to get manufactured, packing the stuff up. All that is labor and man hours. What is the industry standard rate that you owe yourself that you haven't considered? And you say, well, Sam, you're just trying to make this more expensive and you're going to make it hard for an idiot to try to make the money. No, sucker. What I'm trying to tell you is, as the reason why independents fail is because you're working for free. You're working for yourself from home for free. You don't consider that because you're passionate about what you're doing. But you have to start scrutinizing everything, and you have to itemize everything, and you have to track those costs because it's your responsibility to make that money back. So what is your hourly rate that you're willing to swallow that you need to add to this cost that you need to make up when you're going out there and you're trying to recoup your money that you spent? If you want to play it safe, let's say $15 an hour. $15 an hour. So how many hours did you work preparing for this show? Working on that book? Remember, designing the website, promoting on social media? All those hours. What is it? So let's just say, hypothetically, I'm going to get my calculator out real quick, just for you, because I like you. If I didn't like you, forget it. Remember, last week we ended up at 1,068. Today we got what? We said we have 1,170, right? And this is without So 1170 and 1068. So plus 1170 equals. So that's, you're already in the hole there for $2,238.80. Now, I gotta screenshot that thing. Boom. Right? So I'm gonna save that for the show, but I'm gonna leave you with this. So if you worked, say, let's just say you only put in 4 hours a day because you have a full-time job, right? So you put in 4 hours a day. And for 30 days, I'm going to play it safe just for you. We're going to do 30 days, 4 hours a day for 30 days. So 4 times 30 times 15. You owe yourself $1,800 you got to make up on top of that $2,300 right there. So that begs the question, how serious are you about being an independent, and how are you going to make that money back? You don't want to miss the next episode. I'm trying to end this really quick for you guys. But with that said, this is another episode of The Crazy and Talentless. I'm Sam the Crazy Man Vera. Tune in next week because I'm going to break it down on how you can make that money back and sleep a little better. You want to sleep a little better? I do. So don't forget, if you haven't done so already, I would appreciate if you would go and sign up to Forbidden on Indiegogo or Kickstarter. Pick your poison. My goal is to get to 100 backers. We launched November 1st. I'm not looking to, the highest we've gotten was 58 backers. And I know the story's good, but I need you to help me. Can you share the links? Can you sign up today? Can you spread the word and spread the love and help us on that launch day, November 1st? Go big. I need you for that. With that said, give us a thumbs up if you like this episode. Leave a comment below. Subscribe. Like. Let's get those algorithms working. Let's get to 1,000 backers. I appreciate you. Until next time. Peace.